We continue to examine the history of the creation of the State of Israel. Following the war between the French and Faisal's pro-Arab forces, France was given the mandate by the League of Nations to administer Syria and carved it up into 6 states, including Lebanon. Shortly after, Prince Abdullah, Faisal's brother, took control over Transjordan, an action that flew in the face of the plans made by the Sykes-Picot Agreement, the Balfour Declaration, and the Zionist plans for a Jewish Palestine state. Weizmann had been negotiating with Prince Faisal for his support of a Jewish state in Palestine in return for his agreement to recognize the Arab state in Syria, which all fell apart after the French War. Weizmann oversaw the construction and cornerstone laying of the Hebrew University in 1919 in Jerusalem as the first step of his gradualism. Weizmann believed that Arabs should be partners in the endeavor because it would benefit everyone in the region. The League of Nations was set on giving the British control over Palestine, which would then accommodate British support of Weizmann's next plan, which was slow migration and settlement building. However, at issue was the growing nationalism in the Arab communities, aided by Woodrow Wilson's 14 points at the Treaty of Versailles and the call for self-determination among national groups. The Palestinian Arabs, which included Jews, Christians, and Muslims, felt betrayed by the broken promises of the British and for the fact that they were going to be expected to allow the creation of a Jewish state in the land they'd been living in since biblical times. Also, anger sprang from the idea that the Jewish state, which would be composed of Jewish immigrants from Europe, would be allowed self-rule and League of Nations status as a minority group, while the Palestinian people would be represented by the British vote. The Zionists argued that a restoration of Judaism in the region would be good for everybody. They believed the Palestinian people were descended from those who stayed behind in the diaspora and converted to Christianity and Islam because they lacked strong Jewish cultural influence. They believed that a restoration of Jewish law, settlements, and a school would bring them back to the faith. The anger began boiling over in the form of violent riots on both sides. British Colonial Secretary Winston Churchill and T.E. Lawrence called for a conference in Cairo to work it out. The Cairo conference carved Palestine into sections in a believed compromise. Prince Faisal would now control a region to be known as Iraq that would be cobbled together from Kurds, Shiites, and Sunnis. His brother Abdullah would control the Transjordan region. Both regions would be financed by the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. The Syrian region would stay with the French, King Hussein would rule over Arabia, and the British would be given West Palestine to create a Jewish state. The League of Nations officially recognized the state goal in 1922, and Weizmann continued gradual migration and settlement building. This opened up a decade of revolts that cost lives on both sides, property damage, and British military strength. A massive Palestinian labor strike in 1936 took place amid increased Jewish immigration to escape Hitler's Europe. To end the crisis, the British Peel Commission met to discuss a 2-state solution, which the Zionists agreed to but the Palestinians rejected, calling instead for an independent state.